All right. Good morning. Welcome to Price Plan Profit. I'm Melissa, and today I am going live to show you my morning process and what I do each morning to prepare for the day trades that I'm going to focus on for the day. And I always start with the economic calendar. I use Forex Factory. I just want to know what possible catalysts are coming into the market for today to be aware of them. Now, news is a catalyst that drives price to my zones. That is what I think about news. And so I need to know what is scheduled and what zones I am looking to buy or sell. So for today, I can see we have GDP, unemployment claims, some core durable goods, more GDP, preliminary wholesale inventories, bunch of Fed speakers, pending home sales. Quite a busy morning. Now these here with the red folders, those red folders are indicating a more dramatic influence on price action possibility. So at 11:30 Eastern time, I know that that data is coming out and I just need to be aware that it is there. So, let's get started. I always start with the ES and NQ. I want to know, are we in a bullish trend, a bearish trend, or simply in chop? And if you weren't aware, I'm telling you now that NQ made new all time highs yesterday. And this morning, ES finally made a new all time high. I will point out, though, that on the SPY and SPX charts, we are not at all time highs. This is due to contract rollovers and things that occur in the futures contracts. So, I um, I will adjust where my price targets are based on the SPY chart and knowing where my sell zone is at on SPY. I need to have those levels marked on the ES chart as well. So ES, it's in a bullish trend. This market is very resilient right now. I need to look at the current price action. I like to use a 2-hour chart for my day trading zones. And so if I look down and to the left, you can see that yesterday was a day of consolidation. We really did not have a wide range to trade yesterday. So that consolidation occurred somewhere around 61.30 for the low of it and 61.60 for the high of it. I do have inside candles and then an up candle here at 61.25, and I'm going to use that as my buy zone or my target to the downside for ES today. I like to color code my zones, the zone to the downside or the demand zone. I like to make those green. So I'm going to go ahead and put that zone there. 61.25 to 61.09 is where I would expect buyers to show up. I also have an inside and up right here. So I want to mark that level as well. And that goes along with the 6100, which tends to be a psychological level. So that zone for me is 25 points wide. It is where I'm expecting buyers to show up today if we pull back to there. But I cannot overlook this much larger than average candle structure here that occurred on Monday. This is a more powerful zone because of the move out of it, and I want to have it on my charts in case that zone that was created during the choppy, kind of melt up conditions. In case that zone breaks, I need a further target to the downside. So I'm going to mark this zone so that if we have a big pullback, I am not scrambling to find where price could possibly be going. Now, up and to the left, I am not going to have candle structure, but I can see here on these 2-hour candles that when ES created its new all time high, that's pretty much been a roadblock up until this point this morning. So I want that level on the chart. Then what I like to do is run some Fibonacci levels. I'm going to use this whole move as my primary Fibonacci levels. And then I will take the smaller move from Tuesday to today and mark those levels as a secondary Fibonacci. So I am paying attention to this primary, and I can see here that the 236 or the top of the bull channel is inside of my zone, and the 382 is just below it. I'm going to remove that 236 because it just makes that zone messy, and I don't like that. But I have these other Fibonacci levels on a pullback if this zone breaks to know where potentially buyers could step in. Between the 50 and the 618, the golden pocket, this is often a place that you can find buyers. So having these fibs on here gives me a idea of where the golden pocket is at. Now I'm going to take just this recent melt up move and draw some secondary fib levels. This is going to give me targets below where price is currently at on the way to my downside zone for today. I will remove the 764 because that is right at my zone, as well as the 887 inside of my zone, just cleaning it up a little bit. Now, as far as targets to the upside, like I said, the SPY chart gives me a 2-hour zone that an inside and down were created. And that first level is approximately $1.70 above where price is currently at. So that'd be about 17 points above this 6170, 6171 level. So I'm going to add 17 points and I'm going to create a target up here for that first level. Then the top of that zone is approximately, well, it's exactly $4 above, which would be 40 points, which is going to put me at 6208. But since 6200 is a psychological level, I'm going to go ahead and mark that as my next profit target to the upside. So now I have a couple of levels above price where I would take profits if I go long. And then I have my targets to the downside if I'm short on the way to my buy zone down here. All right, I'll do the same thing with NQ working on this 2-hour chart. NQ is bullish. Henry Gamble, awesome trader at Simpler Trading, likes to say there's nothing bearish about a market that's making new all time highs. I couldn't agree with him more. And so it it's bullish. That's the bottom line. Now, here is yesterday where we just consolidated after making a new all-time high in the Qs, and my inside and up candle formation is right here. So that is my downside zone for today. It's also a buy zone on a big dip if price comes down to this level. All right. So now that I have that zone, and I know that I do not have a zone above because we're at all time highs, I'm going to run those same Fibonacci levels going from Monday of this week when we actually had a very nice move to the upside. Run those primary Fibonacci levels, the 38.2 and the 236. This is a bull channel of these primary fibs. I'm going to remove that 38.2 because it's in my buy zone and I don't need it there. Then I am going to run the fibs from yesterday's move, or sorry, Tuesday's move up to the current high, and that's going to give me my secondary Fibonacci levels. Now, please keep in mind, I adjust these fibs up as we make higher highs because these are downside targets if I go short. I can also use them as buy zones as well. So, before I do this, I need to mark this more extreme level to the downside in the event we get that sudden pullback, just like I did with the ES. As far as the upside targets go on NQ, I'm going to run some Fibonacci extension and just use Fibonacci extension levels because we are at all-time highs. So let me get this zone marked real quick. I don't like to be scrambling if we get a sudden move. I like to have a plan in place ahead of time. So for my Fibonacci extension levels, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go from where we based here and I'm going to choose the Fibonacci extension tool and go up to the current high and double click, and that's going to give me some extension levels to the upside. I like to use the 38.2, the 618, and the 100% Fibonacci extensions. And then, of course, I'm going to mark the most recent all-time high because that is an area of resistance till we push above, and then we're targeting these extensions. So with that being said, I can see I have great candle structure in here between the 38.2 and the 618. I'm not marking this as my green zone because I need to be prepared in the event with that economic data causes a larger pullback, but I always know that in this golden pocket area is a potential level of support and a place where I have inside candle structure, so a confluence there. All right, now let's talk about what I look at next. So, obviously, I know that we're in a bull trend. Now I want to know what sectors are outperforming to the upside. So, I have a watch list of just the sectors that I watch, and I'm looking for the larger green percentages 98% on the semiconductors. If I keep scrolling down, it looks like tech is in second place. So the outperforming sector is that semiconductor sector. Now I'm going to go back to my day trading watch list. The main names that I watch are AVGO or Broadcom. I can look at my day trading chart and see where Broadcom's at. Broadcom made a new all-time high yesterday, and price is inside of that inside and down or the red zone, the target to the upside for today. So this one doesn't look so great to trade to the upside because it is in this area of resistance where we made this big topping wick. But hey, Broadcom is very bullish and it absolutely could take out all-time highs today. I just don't know that it is my favorite look to trade for a day trade. So then I'll go to NVIDIA and take a look at NVIDIA. NVIDIA also made an all-time high, but what is different with NVIDIA is we did not immediately sell off. That momentum continues even this morning. So what I'm going to do now is adjust my levels to the upside. These are Fibonacci extensions, but because we had great overnight price action, I'm going to adjust those. Obviously, my all-time high would need to be adjusted just a tad to 157. And then I'm going to run some Fibonacci extensions as well as adjust my Fibonacci retracement levels here. So I just go up and change it to the new higher high. That's going to change my golden pocket level. So I want to activate that. This is an area on NVIDIA that I would be looking to buy the dip. I look at my bull channel between the 236, 382. I have a candle structure there. I like that. Also, the 2-hour EMA cloud is lining up. I like all of that. So for those extension levels, I'm just going to go from where this up move began yesterday up to the current high, throw those extension levels on there, and then use the 38.2, the 618 extension, and the 100. All right. So that's given me some additional targets to the upside for NVIDIA. And I like NVIDIA to focus on more than Broadcom. So I've narrowed that down. Now I'm going to look at TSM. TSM is also, just like Broadcom, in an area of resistance in my supply zone here. So NVIDIA takes the cake, and that will be one of my focus trades, keying in on the strength in the semiconductors. NVIDIA is one of three that I'll focus on. Then I look at my list and I know that XLK, or the tech sector, was another outperforming sector. So I can look down the list. You see Apple here, it's lagging as it has been for I don't know how long, but Google's looking great. We had a great quick overnight swing trade on Google, but where's Google at? It's right at an area of resistance. Not my favorite to look at. Then I can come down, look at Oracle. Oracle has been an outperformer in the tech sector. I just want to see, do I have room to the upside for Oracle? And I do. So Oracle is looking good here, and a possibility for it will make my list, but I want to take a look at a couple of other names before I decide for sure. Tesla, it trades in the XLY. It re it struggled yesterday compared to the overall market, and it's really pretty flat this morning. I like to trade TSLL. That is a possibility. Then, other than that, obviously, Apple isn't doing so good. Amazon has been a great name as of late. It has some room to the upside here. Uh, yeah, it's not bad. Price is currently at 213. My zone is about 2.5 to $5 above. That is some nice. But notice this candle formation, the inside and down right here, it's acting as a brick wall. We did create inside and up down here. I got a couple of trendy edges and then this 210.89 for downside. I'm going to go ahead and put another level here where we finally broke out. Well, if Toss will cooperate. That would be a potential area to buy the dip there or go long, trading it up to 213, 214, and then eventually 215.5 by 218. So Amazon's interesting. It's really trading right with the market, up a 0.5%. Um, yeah, I think I will look at trading Oracle possibly out of the PMZ. And then I'm going to go ahead and put TSLL on because I know that it has a upside potential, but then it is showing some weakness. So I could also trade that to the downside if it sets up that way using the pre market zone or the PMZ indicator. So TSLL, Oracle, and NVIDIA are the three names I'm going to be watching today. I love using the PMZ on the 5-minute chart to trade it, and once I know where the PMZ levels are at, I'm going long above the PMZ and short below the PMZ. So, with that being said, if you join me in the trendy room, we will know where those PMZ levels are at exactly. And I can give you the day trade plan. But if TSLL pulls back into this green zone, I would be interested in buying the dip here and choosing next Friday's expiration for just a shorter term swing trade there. So that's what I have for this morning. I'm going to do these sessions live each Thursday. I hope that you enjoy them, and I look forward to trading with you in the Trendy Room. If you're not a member of the Trendy Room, join us in there. We have an awesome trading family that is very supportive, and we do a lot of teaching, and we also have a lot of great trades. So I look forward to seeing you in there. Y'all have an amazing Friday Eve trading, and I will see you back here Saturday. Nope, not this Saturday because I'm going to Jacksonville to celebrate my brother's 50th birthday. But I will see you back in here live next Thursday. I hope y'all have a great day.